The pain that we're going through is intolerable, but my father was a man of truth, and that truth resembled and was implemented in action of love towards all humanity. That love that he took upon in action was so clear that in his vision, this is God. And he lived that legend. He made every person feel loved within his path. He would want that this occasion would bring within us unity, would make us more connected. The last thing he would want is any anger or hatred to develop through this. He cared so much about every individual. Although he spent so many of his hours studying, and you would think that those books made him further from people or distant him from people, it actually really made him closer. And I think that that's the message that he lived as a legend and is important to be publicized. And therefore he was murdered in such a public occasion. He taught us to really see the good in everything, even within a situation like this. It is not the first time that people of our nation are murdered. And every time there was war or pain within us, as a family, he called us together and said, let's look within us and see what action and responsibility we have to take upon us in order to implement change. Because if we are a part of it, and the distance didn't matter, being a part means that we're exposed to that situation, and that means exposed to the pain of that other person. And there was always an action that he took upon himself to help another and to implement that point. He studied that path of how to implement that unconditional love, in which many people talk about, but it's hard to reach, through the study of the Bible, of the Torah, in a very, very authentic way. And he dedicated himself so much to it that once he knew that truth to him, he did not spend a minute of his day. Any energy that he had, he spent on knowing more of it and putting it into action. Knowing more of it and putting it into action. It was he taught us that this life and why we're here is in order to create. So it must take action. It's not, the spirituality is action. And that love was unconditional and universal, and peace is what's supposed to develop from this. And that's what I want people to know. He died because he was a Jew without harming anyone. And it's painful, but yet every person we still see as good. We leave his physical body with pain, but not with any anger towards anyone. And that we want a message to be known.